is that these are not professional actors. But even then, there was nothing missing. This is something that I very seriously noticed. First performance, Uzagar. Well, I have a few points to share with you. There was a person very fond of acting, going to the director and requesting him to give him a chance to work in any of his dramas. And the director gives him a dialogue. And the dialogue was, आपने एक बंदे को बताना है कि ये एक गांव है. The only one dialogue. And I will judge all your abilities regarding acting. He said, okay, very easy. ये एक गांव है. So there was a stress on ये. ये एक गांव है. So director said, what you mean is actually कि अगला बंदा समझ रहा है कि वो एक गांव है और तुम उसे बता रहे हो कि ये एक गांव है. Then comes the second version. ये एक गांव है. What does it mean? कि वो बंदा समझ रहा है कि ये दो गांव हैं और वो उसे समझा रहा है कि ये एक गांव है. There comes the third version. ये एक गांव है. अगला बंदा ये समझ रहा है कि ये शहर है और वो बता रहा है कि नहीं ये एक गांव है. फोर्थ वर्जन, ये एक गांव है, यानी वो समझ रहा है कि कभी था और उसे बता रहा है कि नहीं है. So you can see the stress on different words changing the meanings. But believe you me, there was nothing here in the performances that we saw on the stage. It was so accurate. First was Uzagar. And what did I observe in that play? There was the professor, then the girl who is taught proper civilization or civilized behavior, particularly the refined use of language. This is something that was taught to that girl. And that little girl, I don't remember her name, there was such a variation in her acting. First she came as an uncivilized, unrefined girl, and then she appeared as a refined girl. So changes. And they were all presented so beautifully. Two changes. It was not easy. And that girl, she was the only character in that extract who had longer dialogues. And it is not easy to present or utter the longer dialogues. There was a problem with the actors here, but that was not their fault. I personally feel if there had been the collar mics, they would have felt more freedom to give gestures with both hands. For example, if she is saying, ye mera problem nahi hai, so she is saying with one hand, ye mera problem nahi hai. So if both hands are used, ye mera problem nahi hai. So you can see they worked with limited resources with mic in their hands and giving the gestures. That too was difficult, and they pulled off so well. And then Professor, his tone was very forceful, and there was a very clear natural touch in his acting, no artificiality. This is something that I observed. And then comes the second extract, in which we had that ill-treated child developing psychological complications. We had a character on the stage, and that girl, I don't remember her name, she idhar beta aana ab zara, for 10 to 15 minutes, and she was alone, and she remained there for 15 minutes giving gestures and uttering dialogues, and she was not fumbling. She did not fumble anywhere, and it was such an outstanding performance because there were 3 stages. I don't know whether you have noticed or not. if you haven't noticed, next time, whatever be the presentation here, you should notice these little things. And then you will enjoy more because they are fantastic performers. Hamail, first of all, talking to the child, she was aggressive. And then she was herself frightened. And then sitting again and uttering those dialogues. 3 different changes. And nowhere did she fumble. So I don't know whether you noticed or not. There is a famous line from Hamlet, to be or not to be. To be or not to be. Now, different Hollywood actors performed as Hamlet, directed by different directors. Mel Gibson performed as Hamlet, Kenneth Branagh, Laurence Olivier, so many actors. All had their own style. And directors were confused how to make their actors utter this one single line, to be or not to be. To be or not to be, that is the question. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. By opposing, end them. By opposing, end them. So Laurence Olivier, Kenneth Branagh, Mel Gibson, all having their own style. So I'm so lucky I'm watching these wonderful performances on the stage by these actors, whoever is their director. I personally feel he manipulated these limited resources that are available here. So hats off to the English department. Thank you.